Hello, episode 8, Gilmore Girl Vlogs, Love and War and Snow.
Snow!
I love this episode.
You did?
I did a lot.
I just love it when Lorelai is like, do you smell that? I can sense it.
All the best things in Lorelai's life have happened around Snow. Her best birthday, some other
Rory's
stuff.
first steps.
Right? She was born in a snow step.
Yep.
It's a snow step.
Snowstorm.
So yeah, this episode opens with Lorelai able to sleep, but she can smell the snow coming. And it does. Also, Luke's subplot is silly, but I like him. He, Stars Hollow is a goofy town, and they're celebrating one of their traditions, which was back in the Revolutionary War. 12 dudes hung out all night waiting for the redcoats who never showed up. So they do the recreation of that every year.
Yep.
And 12 dudes hang out in the snow. And Luke doesn't like it, but later on when the snow comes, he's watching them and thinking about his dad, and he gives them all coffee.
Yep.
And I met the mayor of Stars Hollow.
Yeah.
An actor named Charles Durning, I think. He was in a bunch of stuff. He was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. Have you seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou? You should. Anyway, so that's just subplot stuff. This is all about, once again, separating the characters. But fuck the Gilmore Girls. I just want to talk about Lane.
Lane had the
Oh
worst
my God.
day. She had the worst day.
I am such a Lane in this episode. Oh my goodness. So Lane likes a boy who apparently she's known for years, but now all of a sudden he's like a boy. Oh my God, like he's not gangly anymore.
They sit next to each other. They're in the same band section and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
he has this wonderful wavy hair.
Yeah, and apparently he wears Star Trek t-shirts, which is a negative thing for some reason.
Or used to.
Anyway.
Shirts weren't cool yet in 2000.
Fair enough. So Lane likes this boy, and she keeps wanting to talk to Rory about it, but Rory's stressed about her chemistry book and her boyfriend, and she brings him cookies, which is a big deal. Even I'll concede, yeah, she brought a boy cookies. It's a pretty big deal. And they're pretty adorable together, by the way, in their one scene, Dean and Rory. She made him read Jane Austen, and he's like, you need to read Hunter S. Thompson. Like, they're sharing things they like. It's pretty awesome. But Lane just wants to talk to her friend because she's going through something, and her friend is at a different school, and when she's in town, she's busy with homework, and when she's not doing that, she's busy with her boy. And the snowstorm happens. It's a Friday night dinner kind of night. Lorelai was going to be late for some reason. It doesn't really matter. So Rory ends up by herself at the grandparents' house, and the storm hits. So Lorelai can't make it out to, what's the name of the town? Hartford. So Lorelai's stuck in Stars Hollow, Rory's stuck with her grandparents, and Lane is about to go play a concert when the boy shows up, and he's kneeling in front of her, and she can't help herself, and she reaches out and runs her hand through the boy's hair. And by the way, the whole band is there.
Oh my God, everyone saw it.
Watching this happen.
And everyone has this like look of mortification.
Yeah, that's totally.
Does that work?
And when the boy looks up at her, he doesn't give her this look like, "I'm really glad you touched my hair." He gives this look like, "What the fuck?
What are you doing to me?"
And then she snaps out of her boy hair reverie to be like,
she runs away.
And she just literally runs away while everyone is, laughing at her. And she runs to the Gilmore house, but Rory's not there. She's in Hartford, and Lorelai's not there because she went for a walk in the snow, which is her tradition. I was really sad actually because apparently Lorelai and Rory have a tradition where every year on the first snow they go for a midnight walk and they have donuts and coffee. But they can't this year. But Lorelai's still in a good mood, and she's going for her walk, and she meets Luke, and they tell stories about their childhoods because they're bonding. And then she walks away, and Luke gives her this look like, there goes Lorelai Gilmore.
There she is, amazing those men again.
Yep. But this is when she's by herself. And who does she bump into?
Max Medina's car broke down.
You want to talk about the voicemail or the answering machine? Because I know you love that shit.
That is amazing. There's this part where like
at the beginning when she wakes up in the middle of the night.
Like if you get a really good voicemail, especially if you're just starting out with a new guy, you want to listen to that shit on a repeat. Like I don't know, like you want to hear the voice, you want to hear like the tone and the intonation of how they say certain words. Anyways, she just sits on the couch and she's like sitting. And
the snow's coming.
I know. You can just tell she's so happy. It's such like a magical time for her. She just keeps trying to repeat. My favorite part is when she like throws the blanket over her head because I've totally done that before, like out of sheer excitement. I don't know.
She's such a 5-year-old. The dynamic, the whole like Rory being the more motherly one, the more grown up is very much on play in this episode.
Yeah.
Starting at the beginning where it's like, what are you doing? It's so cold. Why are you listening to this boy's message? Like, you need to, fine. Let's go to bed.
But it's such a magical time.
So
for
she
Lorelai.
sees
Max because his car broke down on accident because he has this night class in Stanford, which we learned about earlier in the episode.
On the voicemail.
And she's like, oh, here in my town? Oh, thank you, Snow, or something like that.
No, it's, your car broke down? It did. In my town? Yes, good car.
No.
So they finally have their postponed date, and she takes him to get burgers and then to a bookstore that's showing an old movie they're going to watch. By the way, it was House on Haunted Hill. Awesome movie, and they're just adorable. I still get nothing from Max Medina. That actor doesn't do it for me, but she's really into it, so I was happy to see.
He has good hair.
I was happy to see Lorelai happy. Meanwhile, in Rory's part of the story, you'd think with the setup of like, oh, you're stuck with your grandparents all night, that it would lead to like a really bad night for Rory. But Rory's bonding with her grandparents, already has with her grandfather. Her grandfather has a really fucking awesome line that wasn't even like a quip, it was like a long Lorelai-esque monologue that made me start giggling at the beginning and laugh harder and harder as the line continued. So they're stuck at the house, the maid and the cook can't make it because of the snow. So Emily's like, what are we gonna eat? And Rory's like, it's fine, whatever. And the father is like, let's just get something, let's go out. And she's like, we can't go out, there's a storm. And the grandfather's like, well, whatever, we'll figure it out. And Emily's like, this is the one time Rory gets real food during the week. So it's ridiculous. And then the line starts where he's like, Rory, are you malnourished? And then he continues along to the point that you need some group with a red cross on them to come out here and hold a fundraiser to feed you.
With a celebrity endorsement.
Right. And way in the background, Rory's like, looks up from the book and she's like, I'm good. But Rory decides that she's gonna help make them dinner, and they find a frozen pizza. And Emily's like, what the hell is a frozen pizza?
It's carnival food.
It's carnival food. It's what you would. She's like, this is what you would eat at a carnival.
Yeah.
Or a Turkish prison. So Rory makes the pizza and she's like, Grandma, what are the chances that you know where I can find a sheet pan in here? And the grandfather's like, I'd say very slim.
He was on point tonight.
So she makes the pizza and she goes up to Rory's bedroom, Lorelai's old bedroom, and she finds a photo album and she finds one of those like photo booth string of photos with her mother and father. And on the back it says, you know, Lorelai and Chris heart around it. Very sweet stuff. But she also gets beat because it's 2000. And she calls her house because Lane had a horrible day and booked it to that house, but there's nobody there. And Lane has one of those monologues that like I shouldn't relate to because I know she's wrong and going through something, and she'll later apologize for it. But every word of it I was like so with her. Where she was like, I need my friend, and you're never here with your perfect life and your perfect boy and the cookies and fuck. Like it's so bad right now.
Yeah.
And then right as Rory and Lane are talking about like, I'm there for you and I need you here, the fucking phone dies. Oh, poor Lane.
She's having the worst day.
There's a moment on the bench where Rory brings Dean cookies and they're talking about Jane Austen and Hunter S. Thompson, where Lane is there too. And it's just the two of them being a couple and kissing, and Lane sitting there like, I'm gonna go.
It's sad.
I am Lane. So that's going on. Lorelai's date goes really well. Although there is a moment where Luke brings coffee out to the soldiers because he feels bad for them. Where, you know, he's like, that's the end of his story, and he's smiling to himself, like, I did a nice thing, and he looks across the town square, and who does he see but Lorelai and Max walking in the snow.
And they kiss.
And his face is just like, God damn it.
I know, he looked really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what will happen with that?
Yeah, hashtag Lorelai and Luke.
Thank you!
You're welcome.
Oh my god!
I know how to learn a thing or two about a thing or two. So what else? Back at the grandparents' house, the pizza comes out and tastes pretty good. And
they're eating it with a fork and a knife.
They sprinkle grated Parmesan cheese on it, and Emily even like, wow, this is really good, and like they're having a good night. And then Rory gets the photo album, and they're showing pictures of baby Lorelai. And baby, you know, and like her grandmother in her wedding dress, like, and all.
Finally seeing into Lorelai's past.
Yeah, a little bit. And they're bonding, and then there's a picture of a teenage Lorelai wearing a really gorgeous dress. And Rory's like, oh, what is that? That was her coming out
dress?
Coming out party dress?
Type thing?
And Lorelai's like, I didn't know she had a coming out party. And there's this really awkward, like, she didn't. And Rory realizes, like, oh, right, I fucked up her life, kind of. A little bit. So, but that's pretty much where we leave them. Everything's still okay. Rory pocketed the picture of them in the
photo booth.
The photo booth, her mom and dad, which I thought was really sweet. Then Lorelai breaks the rules. She brings a boy in the house, and they're totally gonna bang.
But what choice did they have?
No, I understand.
Okay.
I get it. I'm not judging at all.
Okay.
In fact, I was really happy to hear, like, there's a moment where they're outside the house, and he's like, this really nice house, really nice porch, windows, door, which I'm assuming opens. And she's like, yeah, I've never done this before. And he's like, what? And she's like, no, I mean, I've dated. And then she's like, I mean, I've dated.
Yeah.
It's like, good on. It's good to know Lorelai's been fucking a little bit here and there. But she's never had a man in the house.
Because she likes to keep all that stuff separate.
Keep it separate. This is Rory's home, like, makes sense. But it's snowing out, and she's out of town, so he comes in for coffee with no expectations, and they do a little bit of banter, and before the coffee gets made, they're on the way upstairs making out. And I'll admit, it was a pretty hot makeout.
Yeah, pretty
And
good.
there's a thing where, like, they're under an archway, and Lorelai's hand goes up and grips the thing. And just as they're going up the stairs, and I admit, I forgot.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
I mean, I should have known. I was too busy, like, enjoying Lorelai being happy. As they're going up the stairs,
That's what you want to call it.
the bedroom door, horny. The bedroom door opens, and Lane comes out, and she just stares at them. And I will give credit. Max had a funny line. Max is like, how many kids did you say you have?
Yeah.
And Lane is there, and she's like, I'm sorry I ruined your date,
Oh.
and runs into Rory's room.
She's not even like, she's just, like, God, if that happened to me, if I were Lane, I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, like, I would be
Shocked,
super
yeah.
shocked.
But she's just like, I'm so alone.
She's like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, like, she's like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go into the room and never come out.
Yeah.
And she
she's
runs into
so
Rory's room,
depressed.
and
The Cure comes
yeah,
on.
Max and Laura are looking. She's like, well, that was awkward. And then the song starts from the bedroom, and Lorelai's like, oh my God, that's the Cure.
Yeah.
I have to go deal with
Yeah.
this. I'll be back as soon as I can. And they walk in, and the song is playing, and Lane's on the bed, and it's just like, oh.
She had such a tough day.
Early thousands angst, but because
been there.
because her mother is such a fucking stick in the mud, hardcore Christian. Like, there's a great moment earlier when Lane has that monologue about, like, you're gone and I have nothing except 3,000 Korean Bibles and something else. What'd she say? I have 3,000 Korean Bibles and something.
Maybe something about tofu.
Yeah. So Lane's got nothing, but you know, Lorelai's there, and she's like, look, you can talk to me. I'm not Rory, but we use the same hairdryer. And Lorelai does the nice thing where she makes it all okay, and you touched his hair. Like, was it worth it, or was it good? It was even better. Blah 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 blah. And it's gonna be okay, and you can sleep here tonight. And she goes out and has to tell Max that, like, she's gonna stay the night, so we can't bang. But you can stay on the couch. It's really bad out there, and they kiss. And before Lorelai goes upstairs, she runs her fingers.
Yeah, and then she has this great, like, moment as she's walking up the stairs, like, towards the stairs, like, oh, like, damn it.
And then in the morning, Rory comes home and catches what's going on, but it's not like a big shenanigans moment. It's just, you know, she goes to open the door, Rory goes to open the door, Lorelai bursts out wearing a coat over her jammies, and she's like, hey, how are you? You have something to tell me. Yes, I do. I brought a boy home.
Yeah.
I broke the rules, and it's your teacher, and yada yada yada, but it's okay. And Rory's like, why is this so weird? Like, I gotta give Rory a lot of credit. She's handling it in a really mature way. Like, it's fine. And there's the really sweet thing where she's like, I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
You know, I want you to feel free to do a thing, blah, blah, blah. Plus, I know you're not into cats, so if you don't find somebody, you're really gonna be alone.
But.
And Lorelai's like, it's always just me and you. And the door opens, and sometimes Lane.
Yeah.
So Lorelai goes out to wake up the guy, and then my favorite scene in the episode happens, because friendship forever.
I know.
They're, you know, a little bit, hey, hi, sorry, it's okay. And then Lane apologizes, I just freaked out, like, it's okay, it's just, you know, I miss you.
And then Rory apologizes for not being around as much as she
and
should.
it's like, you know, I promise, I'll be with you 24/7.
Good friendship.
And Lane's like, well, Dean's gonna like that. And then comes my favorite line, where Rory's like, well, he better. You got here first. And she's like, I have dibs.
Yeah, I have dibs, and they give each other a hug, and it was so cute.
And then there's a little stinger of sadness at the end. Just a twinge, because
Rory is just looking at her photo booth, like, pictures of her mom and dad.
Well, first she's
had this whole, like, yeah, she walks into the living room, she sees Max and Lorelai sitting on the couch, kind of like how Lorelai saw Dean and Rory sitting there in the previous episode.
Just kind of laughing.
They look really happy and, like, casual and comfortable together. But she's looking at this picture of, like, what about my mom and dad being together?
Yeah,
we don't know much about Christopher.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever even, I mean, they never said, if Christopher and Lorelai had any kind of relationship.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, her grandparents brought it up in front of her like it was nothing, so it's not like it's some big secret. Like, she doesn't know who her dad is, but
yeah, but I'm sure
we have no idea if they've ever.
We don't even know the last time Rory saw her dad.
Yeah, and we don't know if he's ever been there for her birthday, if they have any kind of relationship at all. So there's a little sad kind of like.
Yeah. So I wonder if they're building up to that.
Subtle.
No, I really don't know.
Anyway, it was a good episode.
I seriously don't know.
It was full of magic. Also, it finally confirmed, at least, that Luke really likes Lorelai.
Oh, yeah.
This whole time, I'm like, are they just bantering because that's a thing they do? Or maybe he just cares about them because, like, you know, in some kind of fatherly figure thing, there's no man in their life, so he's there for them.
Yeah.
In this episode, it's very pointed, the way he looks at her.
I think it's both, though. I think it's all the things.
Oh, sure, he absolutely is, but it's not just that. He definitely likes her. And it happens first when she just walks away by herself and he looks after her like, man, there she goes. I like her. And then later on, when he sees Max and Lorelai and they kiss, he's so fucking heartfelt, like, just sad about it. And, like, I love the scene with the two of them outside the coffee shop where he tells a story about how his dad used to be one of the people who stood up all night defending from the Reds. But she also tells a really nice story about how when she was 5 years old and the snow was just for me. And, like, the way he's watching her, like, I don't know what it is when you're watching a show and you're like, oh man, like, that guy really likes that girl. Like, what your tell signs are. For me, as the person who is a guy and I also like girls, I always like in movies and TV shows or books or whatever, when Lorelai's telling that story about her childhood, she's not looking at Luke. She's looking at the snow, and she's just telling this really great story about how the snow has always felt like it was my gift. And he is looking at her in the most fucking, like, he just digs her so much as she's telling this nothing story.
Yeah.
So, again, hashtag Lorelai and Luke. That's it for this episode, I guess. Once again, we're not really in, I don't know if this is the kind of show that has continuing storylines beyond who's dating who. But as of right now, it's just kind of, well, it's snow time, so I'm assuming Christmas episode's coming up, and I fucking always love a Christmas episode. And I guess Thanksgiving may have happened already. Not really sure.
I'm not really sure either.
But anyway, I'm excited because I like Christmas episodes in any show. It's my favorite thing.
They're pretty good.
Hijinks and songs, and I'm with Lorelai where she's like, some traditions are good. Birthdays and holidays and whatever her third thing
not
was.
all of them, though.
Yeah, so that's episode 8 that we just watched. In case it wasn't clear, I am very much into this show now. Even the episodes where I'm bored half of it, like by the end of it, I'm really into it and how fucking adorable it is.
Right? It's just grabs your heartstrings.
We forgot to mention the last episode when Suki does show up. She's just there to like bring cookies because she wants to meet Dean because she's so excited for Rory because she's like the town's daughter.
Yeah.
In this episode, when she gives cookies, like Rory comes in the kitchen to get cookies to give to Dean, and Lorelai and Suki figure it out that it's for a boy, and the two of them are just like, Dean and cookies and kisses, and like they're both just so excited. Well, very much Suki anyway is so excited, like, oh my god, little Rory has a crush.
Yeah.
So, and I'm honestly a little bit the same way, like, oh my god, little Rory has a crush.
Yeah.
He's gonna break her heart to a million pieces. Yes, he is.
Maybe she'll break his.
He's got a girlfriend in Chicago. An ex-girlfriend.
Way. Oh, I thought a real girlfriend. Wait, what? I was like, did I miss something already?
No, they mentioned like Lane did a bunch of sleuthing work to figure out.
Ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, he had a girlfrild in Chicago, and they broke up amicably because he had to move. But that's out there somewhere. And now she's dating his cousin. I don't know. Anyway, we'll be back with episode 9 of the Gilmore Girls Do Stuff in Star Hollow, Connecticut.
Bye.
Bye. Hello.